Mafia, the old country, just launched a few days ago. And I just want to get this review out quickly because of that. I don't do much game reviews or actually videos in general, only when I think that I have something to say. And this is one of those cases. I've played the Mafia 1 and 2 and 3 twice or 3 times. And I'm a bit of an oddball, but I like the Mafia 3 the most, because sliding around in the city with those late 60s muscle cars it's just so much fun. And the music, it just takes me places, I don't know. I did like Mafia 1 and 2, of course. They are great games, but they are, I'm sure you know, they're different in nature. And that brings us to the Mafia Old Country. I was expecting the time that has passed to have made a bigger difference in the game mechanics and the gameplay in general. And sure, it is updated, but there are just so many small issues that the attention to detail, it's just missing. Nowadays, developers make just absolutely stunning games, where every attention to detail is taken care of, and they are just so immersive that I know they are tough to compete. But to be honest, I think that the Mafia Old Country should have done better. For example, the gameplay is 60 frames per second, which is really good. I'm perfectly fine with 60. I play on PS5. But the cutscenes, they are 30 frames per second. So it jumps constantly back and forth. 60, 30, 60, 30. And it's... the game starts with you walking, and there's a whole lot of walking. Slow walking. Especially at the beginning. And later in the game too. And then there is horseback riding, which it feels kind of forced. They just want to have some kind of dialogue. And they just do it when you ride horses down the road. And in my opinion, at least so far, the dialogue hasn't been all that important. I'm now 4 chapters in, and I'm having a tough time to continue, honestly. The plot seems clumsy so far, and I'm not sure if it's called directing. The way that the characters deliver their lines, how they act, how they move, it's just unnatural and distracting. And then the one thing that annoys me the most in most games is the jerky camera and character movements. There are a few games that have really nailed this down, especially The Last of Us, both of them. Naughty Dog is a developer that really nails it down. The character jumps like it doesn't move fast, but it glitches in one frame to a clearly different position on the screen. And that's constant. Luckily, it's not quite as bad as Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Oh my god, that's so ridiculous. Last of Us 1 was launched 12 years ago. And it has smooth camera movement, smooth character movement, natural movements, no jerkiness. 12 years ago.
Really?
And now the games that launched this year, they are jerky and feel like, I don't know, 90s games at times. Back to the Mafia Old Country. To support the old game feel, facial expressions are nearly missing. Eyebrows are locked in. They do move occasionally, but mostly they are just locked in, and the people look dead, like this. It's just so unnatural. Here's just a quick example of the variety of expressions that is common in Mafia 3.
It's hard to explain what it's like coming home from war.
The spoken lines are edited badly together. It jumps suddenly to a different tone and different delivery, and the dialogues are quite unnatural most times. And I knew it's gonna be a linear game, but yeah, so was Last of Us. But still, they were able to make you feel like you had choices. I don't know how they did it so much better, but the Mafia Old Country, it's just, there's an X on the spot, go there, and then there's a cutscene. Then there's an X on the other place of the map, and then you go there, and there's a cutscene. And it's just incredibly hard for me to be interested in the game. It has a repeating long-winded event, like one cave running event in the beginning. It was just 10 times too long and repeated the same thing. And since it's so linear and they hold your hand constantly, I don't get any feel of a reward or accomplishment. What else? No excitement. And I'm not that interested in knowing what happens because it's so predictable. I'm sure there will be surprising and good events down the line, but I really don't know if I'm ever gonna get there. A few words about the gameplay. When you're fighting, the opponent at most times has an unnatural skill of dodging anything you do in any situation, even if they're back down to a corner. They just move like fast as a UFO. Then if you block their hit, all of a sudden they are really clumsy and you can get many hits in. And the fight controls, they are really insensitive. So that sometimes it doesn't do what you tell it to do. And when it finally starts to do something, then suddenly you have to block because the opponent is striking. But no, it's going to go through the first movement and then some. Then when you see that the enemy is starting to strike, you press to block the hit. And after that, you get the small graphics showing that it's a hit that you can't block, that you would have to dodge. Oh, this was funny. If you choke an enemy, sometimes they bleed out like crazy. So they're suddenly in a huge pile of blood. What's up with that? Then the gunfight. Even if you shoot straight into the enemy and even into the enemy's head with the crosshair clearly on top of their head, you still miss sometimes. And even if you're crouching and hiding behind a big rock, they can somehow shoot you through the rock and you die. And the difficulty is kind of strange because on medium difficulty, you can get killed with like 3 shots. And as usual, the enemies, they have a perfect aim. So they always hit you when they try to shoot. I do have to say though, that the environment and the overall feel of the game, I can see what they were trying to do, and it is nice. And the graphics themselves, they are really beautiful. But it really isn't enough in a game like this. So yeah, I played a bit of Mafia 1 and Mafia 3 just to recall a few things. And I can't really say that the character movements are better in them, but really, Mafia 1 was made ages ago, and they haven't been able to make it much better in that regard. That's really disappointing to me. Anyway, I'm sure there are lots of things that could be said about it, and I know that this is a very different kind of review than all the rest. But I don't like the game. I really don't. And it makes me sad. So I'm jumping into some other games right now. And maybe I'll try to continue at a later time. I don't know. I got a bit frustrated with the Mafia, the Old Country. And I started playing the Red Dead Redemption 1. I played the RDR 2 for maybe 3 or 4 times. Great game. But never played the first one. And, well, yeah, the character movements that I always talk about. Yes, it is jerky. But it is at 60 FPS throughout. But of course the graphics are really old looking, as it's a 15-year-old game. It has been remastered for, I think it was even 4K, but at least 60 FPS. So the image itself is fluent and looks good, but the graphic detail is old. But still, I just started it and it's already a much more interesting setting than the Mafia, the Old Country. The events in the beginning already give you this purpose or direction. And I need to talk about the Mafia 3 here, because right off the bat you are introduced with events that create the main character this very strong drive that goes on through the whole game. And it's what keeps him going. And that is interesting. You right away, you know that this is what this guy must do, and this is why he's doing it. On the Mafia Old Country, yeah, well, the guy just escaped. Now what? I don't know. I really don't know. 4 chapters in, and I don't know. I'm just doing what I'm being told. And I think that's why right this moment I prefer playing Red Dead Redemption 1 from 2010. If you are a big Mafia fan and you need to know what kind of game it is, yeah, go ahead, buy it and play it. I hope you like it. But if you're on the fence, just consider that what are the important parts for you. If you like smooth character and camera movements, maybe think twice. And if you like a really well-flowing game, yeah, maybe think about it. Anyway, that's it for today. Sorry I couldn't say anything more positive about the game than the graphics. They are beautiful, and the sceneries, they really are beautiful. So that's what we have to go with. Thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful for some. See you on the next one. Bye.